I am not the person that, oh, this was my lifelong dream and it just came to pass. No, I stumbled upon this.
Hi, I'm Terrell Turner, the host of the Business Talk Library, and today I have a special guest on. I came across this one actually because a friend was very excited about this business. So welcome to the show, Miss Yvonne.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy to be here.
Absolutely. Now, Miss Yvonne, thank you for being on the show to talk about, your business and your background. And before we get into, your business, what's a little bit about your background and what made you want to start a business?
Okay, so that's always an interesting question for me because I am not the person that, oh, this was my lifelong dream and it just came to pass. No, I stumbled upon this. In 2017, or probably a little bit before that, I just started reading ingredients on different things. I'm like, wow, it's a whole lot of stuff in, commercial made products. So I started making my own toothpaste and my own little deodorant. And that was just that. So 2017, I went relaxer free. And once I went relaxer free, like most people that become relaxer free, you just go and buy a bunch of products. You just product happy, buy all this stuff. And I wouldn't say it wasn't working, but then I was watching a YouTube video and this girl had a bomb twist out. And I was like, wow. And my daughters were already relaxer free. So she had some shea butter under her sink. And I'm like, I'm going to try to whip up some shea butter. I whipped up the shea butter. I twisted my hair. And the next day it was like, that was the best twist out ever.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's how the butter got started. So then I got real happy because I knew a lot of people who were relaxer free. So I'm like, well, do you twist your hair with so-and-so? So I started giving it away and then didn't do no research now, just using it. Then I said, wow. I started reading up on all the benefits of shea butter. I'm like, man, you put this stuff on your skin. So then I started sharing and then I perfected a recipe and it just started going from there. So I'm not the person who owes my lifelong dream to start a business. If you asked me 5 years ago, would I be doing this? I would say no, because not in a mean way. I don't like people. And you gotta be people, you gotta be happy and that kind of thing to really, and I'm not salesy, put it that way. So even now I make stuff available, I tell people what it can do, but I'm not that gonna chase you down, push it down your throat kind of thing. I make it where the product is something that because it benefits you, you need it. You want it. I don't have to chase you down to buy it. Of course, I have to promote it and that kind of thing. But so far as be real salesy and just chase people down, no. That's one of the reasons why I never thought I'd be doing this because back in school, if we had to sell that world's finest chocolate, I didn't want to do that. And that was only $1. So I knew that I'm not this real salesy person. So selling something was something I didn't never, ever, ever thought I would be doing. But it is rewarding because when I get stories of people saying how it makes a difference, rather it's their skin, their hair, whatever, it makes it all worthwhile.
And that's something awesome that I find when I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs about just their business. It's always interesting to hear the stories when people talk about this wasn't what I was aiming for. It was just, hey, I saw a need and I just started providing a solution. And when I saw that it was working well and it was benefiting people, I just continued to do it.
Exactly.
Now, so what is the name of your business?
It is Naturals by Nezzy, made with love.
Awesome. So how'd you come up with that name?
Oh, it's a story behind everything. So because my name is Yvonne Middleton, of course, so that relates in no way to Nezzy. I had this nickname, which I won't even bother to say what it is, but it relates nothing to Nezzy. But I used to be a chair mom. My daughter was in high school. I was a chair mom. So I collected all the funds for uniforms and ordering stuff. So one day, a parent sent me a check that said Inez Middleton. Now, where Inez came from, I had no idea. but that's who she made the check payable to, Inez. So then my kids started teasing me, calling me Inez. And then it went from Inez to Nezzy. And that's where Nezzy came from. So when it was time to name the business, before I even started the business, I was giving it away. My girls, my daughter's friends will say, Nezzy got any more of that butter? Nezzy got any more of that? So when it when it was time to name the business, it kind of fell right into place because they already kind of gave me a name. So that's where it came from. So it's yeah, but that's where Nezzy came from. Is somebody wrote me a check saying Inez Middleton.
Were
Yeah,
you even able to cash the check?
only because I worked.
Okay.
Yeah, and I just but yeah, I mean that was yeah. But that's where, and I mean, they called me Inez for the longest, and all of a sudden they felt like cutting it short, so they started calling me Nezzy.
Okay. So, what has it been like when, I mean, now that you started the business, since you've been doing it, like, what has it been like, I guess you say, being a real business owner, a real entrepreneur?
Well, it has been interesting to say the least. I've learned so much. It's been almost 2.5 years. Reason being, because I stumbled into it, I didn't have a businessy background per se. So when I started doing what I was doing, I mean, I knew how to make butter, but so far as the business side of it, not so much. So we'll get to the point. I know you're going to ask me at some point, probably, what would you suggest other people do? We'll get there. So when I started, because I didn't know a lot, I kind of figured it out as I went because I didn't know how to make a label. I didn't know how to do anything. Only thing I know how to do is make butter. And I started making it. So I asked my daughter's friend, I said, hey, can you make me a label? Because I made a label. That thing was looking like really, I'm not, that ain't my lane at all. So I was like, so she said, what do you want? So the first thing she sent me, it was like all people that looked like me on. I'm like, no, 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 we can't have that. I said, I want something that's going to be able to be versatile. Anybody can buy it. So she sent me a couple other things. And once she sent me the one that I have now, I'm like, yes, this is it. Because for one thing, for some reason, I always end up with earth tones. For some reason or another. And when she done the label ended up being earth tone colors, and it had hands in it. And of course, my tagline is Naturals by Nezzy, where these hands are working for you. So
Awesome.
with the hands, I'm like, that is perfect, perfect, perfect. So that kind of fell into place. And then as time went on, I'm like, okay, well, now I need to do this, 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 and this. So it kind of came along, but I would tell anybody, well, no, I don't regret how I came about, but it makes it more interesting when you kind of work in the reverse because stuff that you probably should have done before you got started, you're doing it now.
Mhm.
But lesson learned, I'm able to share my story and help other people. Because even with pricing, when you do your pricing, if you start low, you just can't jump here in one jump. You have to gradually get there. So, and so far as fees are involved, and I know you know about fees, everybody want a little change. So, fees, taxes, all this kind of stuff, and if you don't have all that factor in, you're working, but you're still more on a hobby basis because you're not bringing in the money you can possibly be making because your item is not priced right. So that's my biggest tidbit to any new person. Do your homework, get your pricing right. Make sure you take the fees, everything that's involved to run a business. Make sure you factor all those things in because at the end of the day, your whole goal is to make a profit. You might enjoy doing what you do, but when you order that stuff, you can't tell those people, "Hey, I enjoy doing this. Can I have some product?" No, you got to pay for it. So yeah, with
And I
that
think,
being,
oh,
yeah,
I was going to say, I think that is a very, very good point.
yeah, and that is the one thing that I think was a challenge for me. The first thing was I'm not a salesy person, And the other thing was almost like, well, I don't want to charge people. Well, girl, you're going to continue to be a hobby if you don't charge people your worth, the work you're putting into it. Yeah. And the value of you cannot continue to roll like that. So slowly but surely, I'm kind of inching up, but yeah. But that was my biggest downfall, is not really wanting to charge people my worth. And then I started rewinding, like, you know what, when I buy something from people, whatever they charge me, I pay it.
Hmm.
And most of the time, it's not cheap. So why am I shortchanging me with selling my product? So that had to be something that, over time I'm getting it. But at first it was like I still had that hobby mindset. And that hobby mindset, you will be either working yourself enough or out of business real fast. Especially now with this pandemic, the prices of everything has went up. Shipping, getting products in, have to make alterations for containers because this one don't have that. Stuff is on back order. So this pandemic is really causing, a little bit of rift, but I'm still making sure people need what they need. They get their products, but it's been a challenge.
Hmm. And now, speaking of that, what are the types of products that you offer?
Well, of course, my biggest baby is shea butter. Shea butter. I also offer shampoo and conditioner. We have moisturizing bath bars. We have bath bombs. We have face wash, lip balm, beard balm. So that's just to name a few. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
So,
and it's pretty much handmade. I don't.
oh,
Yeah,
wow.
working. It's not like I'm going buying something. That was the other thing too that I had to realize. I said, people are buying something from somewhere else, then they turn around, they're selling it to you at whatever price. They ain't put no work in that besides bought it from whoever they bought it from. So why am I shortchanging my hands working? From raw shea butter to making an actual product. So I had to really start rewinding, saying, hey, you know one thing? Know your value, know your worth. People, your right customer, will see your worth, and so that's why I tell people now I do a weekly Facebook Live. I said, everybody ain't my customer, and I don't want them to be. I want people who sees the value of the product, who can use the product, and they're not sitting down nickel and dime it to death. Yeah. So that's my target audience. And that's been a challenge too, is figuring out who is your target audience. Because you don't want to waste time all over the place with people who only thing they want to do is ask you 25 questions. Yeah.
Hmm. And now, speaking of that, if there are customers who are interested in buying your products and checking your products out, where can they find you online?
Okay, they can find me online. I have a website, which is www.naturalsbynezzy.com. And also, I'm on Facebook, Naturals by Nezzy Made with Love. And I'm on Instagram, Naturals by Nezzy Made with Love.
Awesome,
So,
awesome.
but so far as ordering, the website is where you can place all your orders.
Perfect, perfect. Now, before we wrap up on one of the questions that I like to ask, and in which you've already given a ton of tips and advice, but I want to ask, are there any other, like I said, learning lessons that you've experienced that you would say, like, hey, I would add this on top of all the other ones I gave, that, hey, this is something entrepreneurs should keep in mind if you're going to run a successful business?
Okay, if you're going to run a successful business, stay true to who you are. Stay in your lane. There are 50 other people that's doing the same thing that you're doing. Stay in your lane. Stay true to who you are. Don't stay focused on what other people are doing, because that's when you get sidetracked. Do you. Do the best you can do with your product and roll with it. And that would be the best advice that I can give anybody could do, especially this pandemic. So many people have started businesses in this pandemic. A lot of people are doing things, but you have to stay true to who you are, do what you do. And even on the frustrating days, remember why you got started. Don't ever forget why you started doing what you do. And once you do that, even on the days you start feeling some type of way, you realize, you know, one thing, I got to keep pushing because every day is not going to be a wonderful day. There's going to be challenges. Stay focused and see those challenges as being lessons learned. Keep pushing. It's just a bump in the road. Hop over the hump and keep going.
Awesome. Well, Yvonne, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing all the wisdom and telling us about the story behind your business. Definitely some hilarious memories there, and and we're definitely happy to see, like I said, you're still continuing with your business, and we'll definitely add the one pager so people can find you easily online and people can buy some of your awesome products.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Like I said, Naturals by Nezzy, these hands are working for you. And the thing of it is, I'm going to make your hair grow and your skin glow. How about that?